Okay, second time worked as planned. The bolts went in quite normally. I did put a little bit of Loctite on there again after I had cleaned everything up. Everything bolted on quite the way it should. So far I've got the upper radiator hose on, I've got the heater hose on, sensors, of course, all the electrical wiring there, the bypass hose, and reconnected the alternator here, plugged in the little plastic divot there, little spike. And I think at this point I probably should take care of that stupid evap purge hose again, and then plug in whatever the heck this is. I think it's, like I said earlier, a position sensor, something goes down there on the timing mark. So I'll get that set up, and at that point I think we'll probably start working on the fan and the clutch. I do believe that's going to be next. We'll be back. Okay, more points to consider from what I've learned. When attaching the upper radiator hose sections to the upper thermostat housing, it's difficult to get this one hose section aligned properly so it doesn't have a twist. This one has a mild twist in it. I hope that's not going to impede the water flow too much. If it is, I'm going to have to probably get another hose. I got this one from Daco. It may have not been designed exactly to fit, or I might need to trim a little bit. Either way, it's not too difficult to get back off. This is the section that we had welded. It went on normal, but getting it bolted down, which is back here, right here, that was a bit of a chore. Bolt goes through here, but there's a little nub off the intake housing that fits through a slot on the hanger, and that's got to be in place before the bolt can line up properly. Now, as you're doing that, you're pressing against the force of the rubber hose, trying to compress it to get that in line. So I had to use a pry bar to raise up on the hose to get this in line, and in doing so I then had to keep loosening these up and try to move the hose back and forth to get the twist out of it. And I think that should work, actually, the way I have it now. I got the clutch fan on, or the fan clutch. Has to go in through the shroud at the exact same time, otherwise it just won't fit in that amount of room. So that's a bit of a struggle. So as you get it in there, you really don't have the leverage or the room to twist this nut onto the shaft. So what I did was I held the fan clutch in place and then spun the pulley until it tightened up. And then, of course, I used the wrench set, the universal fan clutch wrench set that I bought earlier, to finish tightening it up with the breaker bar. So we got that done. So various little lines to be put back in place, which got the alternator on, and the hoses are on. I think at this point I probably should go ahead and thread the belt, at least to get it in the right position while things are a little bit loose and I have a little bit of maneuvering room. Might not tighten it up completely right now, but at least I'll get it halfway on. And then I'm going to start looking at replacing the gaskets for a throttle body, get that attached, and then the air intake off the filter. And I hope I'm not forgetting anything, but I think that's about it so far. We'll be back.